Once upon a time, in a cozy little home in a bustling city, there lived a boy named Saqib. Saqib was a bright and cheerful 7-year-old with a wild imagination. He loved playing cricket with his friends in the park, exploring the alleyways, and reading exciting stories. But when night fell and the world outside grew quiet, Saqib felt a twinge of fear creeping in. He was sure there was something lurking under his bed. One evening, after a long day of playing cricket and riding his bicycle, Saqib climbed into bed. He pulled the soft blanket up to his chin and closed his eyes. Just as he was about to fall asleep, he heard a strange noise from beneath his bed. It was a soft rustling sound that made his heart race. He remembered the stories his grandmother had told him about monsters hiding in the dark. Taking a deep breath, Saqib gathered his courage and peered over the edge of the bed. To his surprise, he saw two big, shimmering eyes looking back at him. "Who's there?" he whispered, trying to sound brave. The eyes blinked slowly, and a cheerful voice called out, "It's me, Arav. I'm a friendly monster." Saqib's eyes widened in disbelief. "A friendly monster? Really? You don't want to eat me?" he asked, half laughing, half nervous. Arav crawled out from under the bed, revealing his fluffy, green body and a big, toothy grin. "No way. I only eat sweets and laughter. I'm here to be your friend." Saqib felt the fear slowly melting away. "That sounds fun. What kind of games do you like to play?" he asked, his curiosity piqued. Arav's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I love hide and seek. I can hide in the tiniest spaces, and you'll never find me." Saqib's smile grew wide. "Let's play," he shouted, jumping out of bed. Arav did a little happy dance, and they decided that Saqib would count first. Arav squeezed himself into a small corner of the room, and Saqib began to count, feeling braver with each number. "Ready or not, here I come," Saqib exclaimed, and he started searching the room. He looked behind the curtains, under the desk, and even in the toy box. Where could Arav be? He wondered. Suddenly, he heard a soft giggle from the corner. Saqib turned around and found Arav wedged into a small space between the wall and a pile of toys. "You found me," Arav laughed, and they both burst into giggles. They played hide and seek for what felt like hours, with Saqib hiding under the blanket and Arav trying to squeeze into a pair of shoes. Saqib had so much fun that he forgot all about being scared of the dark. After a while, they sat on the floor, catching their breath. "You know," Saqib said, "I always thought monsters were scary, but you're really nice." Arav smiled widely. "Not all monsters are scary. Some just want to have fun, like me." Saqib nodded, feeling grateful for his new friend. "What else do you like to do, Arav?" he asked. "I love telling stories," Arav replied. "Do you want to hear one?" Saqib's eyes lit up. "Yes, please." Arav cleared his throat dramatically and began. "Once upon a time, in a land filled with colorful flowers and tall trees, there was a brave little elephant named Rani. She loved to explore and make new friends. One day, while wandering through the jungle, she found a hidden cave. What happened next?" Saqib asked, leaning forward in excitement. Inside the cave, Arav continued, Rani discovered a beautiful crystal that sparkled like the stars. But there was one problem: a grumpy old lion named Sheru guarded it. Sheru was not really mean, he just wanted someone to play with. Saqib giggled. "What did Rani do?" he asked eagerly. Rani approached Sheru and said, "I just want to be friends." At first, Sheru was surprised, but he realized he was lonely. So they started playing games together, and soon they became the best of friends. "That's wonderful," Saqib said. "I want to be brave like Rani." Arav clapped his hands. "You are brave. You came to meet me even when you were scared. That's true bravery. As the night went on, Saqib and Arav shared stories and laughter. They talked about their favorite foods. Saqib loved biryani, while Arav preferred samosas. They even made up a silly dance that made them both laugh until their bellies hurt. Eventually, Saqib began to feel sleepy. "Can you stay with me until I fall asleep?" he asked. Arav nodded eagerly. "Of course. I can tell you more stories." Saqib snuggled under his blankets, and Arav sat beside him, his fluffy green form glowing softly in the dim light. Arav began telling a story about a magical garden filled with flowers that could talk. Each flower had its own personality and special talent. There was a rose that sang beautifully and a sunflower that danced in the breeze. As Arav spoke, Saqib felt his eyelids growing heavier. Soon, he drifted off to sleep, dreaming of magical gardens and friendly monsters. When Saqib woke up the next morning, he was filled with joy. He jumped out of bed and looked under it. "Arav, are you there?" he called. To his surprise, there was no sign of his monster friend. For a moment, he felt a wave of sadness. But then he remembered all the fun they had together and how special their friendship was. Throughout the day, Saqib played outside with his friends, but he couldn't stop thinking about Arav. As evening approached, he wondered if his friend would return. That night, Saqib climbed into bed, excited yet a little anxious. Just as he started to drift off, he heard a familiar giggle from under the bed. "I'm back," Arav exclaimed, popping out with a big grin. Saqib jumped up with joy. "I missed you," he explained, hugging his monster friend tightly. "I missed you too," Arav replied. "Let's play again." They spent the night playing games, telling more stories, and laughing until their sides hurt. Saqib learned more about Arav's life under the bed and the other friendly monsters who lived there. Arav told him about a blue monster named Ayan, who loved to dance, and a tall monster named Fatima, who could tell the best jokes. As they chatted, Saqib realized that monsters could be just like him, full of dreams and fun. Arav invited Saqib to visit the monster world one day. "It's full of colors and laughter, and everyone is friendly," he said excitedly. Saqib's eyes sparkled with wonder at the thought. One night, Arav had a brilliant idea. "Let's have a monster party," he suggested. Saqib's heart raced with excitement. "Yes. But how will we invite your friends?" Arav thought for a moment and then said, "We can use our imagination. Just think really hard, and they'll come." They closed their eyes and imagined the party. Saqib pictured colorful balloons, delicious sweets, and friendly monsters dancing all around. When they opened their eyes, the room was filled with monsters. There was Ayan, the dancing blue monster, and Fatima, the joke-telling monster, along with many others. Saqib couldn't believe his eyes. "This is incredible," he shouted, and the room filled with laughter and cheer. The monsters introduced themselves and began to play games. They danced, sang funny songs, and shared all kinds of tasty treats. Saqib felt so happy to have made so many friends. As the party continued, Saqib felt a warm glow in his heart. He realized that monsters could be just as friendly as anyone else. They all took turns showing off their talents. Ayan danced gracefully while Fatima told jokes that made everyone roar with laughter. Saqib showed them how to play cricket, and soon they were all trying to hit an imaginary ball and run between the pillows. The night flew by, filled with joy and laughter. Saqib had never had so much fun before. When it was time for everyone to go home, Saqib hugged Arav tightly. "Thank you for the best night ever," he said, feeling grateful. Arav smiled back. "Thank you for being such a great friend. Remember, I'll always be here under your bed." ready for more adventures. From that night on, Saqib never felt scared of the dark again. He knew that Arav was there, waiting to play and share stories. Each night brought new adventures, exploring magical lands and making wonderful memories together. One evening, Saqib had an idea. What if we create a story together? He suggested. Arav's eyes sparkled with excitement. Yes, let's make it a big adventure. They both sat on the floor, ready to create their tale. Saqib began. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a brave boy named Saqib and a friendly monster named Arav. They went on a quest to find a hidden treasure. Arav jumped in, but it wasn't just any treasure, it was a magical cricket bat that could grant wishes. They continued weaving their story, taking turns adding details. They created a journey filled with challenges, clever tricks, and new friends along the way. Together, they painted a beautiful world full of friendship and courage. As they finished their story, Saqib realized something important. We are like Rani and Sheru, helping each other and going on adventures. Arav nodded happily. And just like in our stories, we can face anything together. That night, Saqib felt grateful for his friendship with Arav. He understood that even in the darkness, there could be light, laughter, and love. With a heart full of joy, he drifted off to sleep, knowing that tomorrow would bring more adventures with his friendly monster. Days turned into weeks, and Saqib and Arav's friendship grew stronger. They continued to create new stories, explore magical worlds, and share countless laughs. Each night was filled with excitement, and Saqib looked forward to every adventure. One evening, Arav had an idea for a new game. Let's have a talent show, he suggested. Saqib's eyes lit up. That sounds awesome. We can show off our skills. They decided to invite all their monster friends for the talent show. Saqib practiced his cricket skills, imagining how he would impress everyone. Arav worked on his storytelling, preparing to share a funny tale. When the night of the talent show arrived, the room was filled with colorful lights and laughter. The monsters took turns showcasing their talents. Ayan danced gracefully, while Fatima told riddles that had everyone scratching their heads in confusion. When it was Saqib's turn, he felt a little nervous but excited. I'm going to show you my cricket skills, he announced. He set up a makeshift pitch with pillows and imagined the cheering crowd. Saqib pretended to hit the ball with all his might, running between the pillows with enthusiasm. The monsters cheered and clapped, and Saqib felt proud of himself. After the talent show, they all gathered to celebrate. They shared sweet treats, sang songs, and played games late into the night. Saqib felt so lucky to have Arav and all the other friendly monsters in his life. As time went on, Saqib learned that having friends, whether human or monster, was the most important thing. They supported each other, shared their dreams, and made life so much brighter. Saqib never felt lonely again, knowing he had a wonderful friend like Arav by his side. One starry night, as they lay on the floor gazing up at the ceiling, Saqib turned to Arav. Do you think we'll have more adventures when we grow up? He asked. Arav smiled. Of course. Our adventures will only get bigger and better. Saqib nodded, feeling hopeful and excited. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. With that thought, he closed his eyes, ready to dream of the many adventures to come. And so, in that little house, Saqib and Arav continued their friendship, exploring the magic of their imaginations. Every night brought new stories, laughter, and the comforting knowledge that they would always be there for each other, no matter what. In the heart of the city, two friends, one human, one monster, proved that friendship could overcome any fear. They shared a bond that was unbreakable, filled with love, laughter, and countless adventures. Saqib learned that sometimes the things we fear the most can turn out to be the most wonderful.